Hey guys, in this video and maybe the next video or so, we'll be creating our HTML. Alright, so it's going to be strictly display. We're not going to use any PHP. We're just going to create our template and then we can integrate it into our application later. Alright, so as I said in the last video, we're going to be using the Foundation framework. Alright, which is very similar to Bootstrap. So what we're going to do is click the big download button at foundation.zurb.com, and there's a couple different options here. We're just going to we're going to download the complete package. Okay, so let's open that up, and this is what you should get: CSS, images, folder, JavaScript. Okay, JavaScript has the Foundation JavaScript file. We have jQuery, Modernizer, okay, just some libraries that Foundation comes with. So what I'm going to do is create a folder on my desktop, and I'm going to call this AB HTML. And I'm just going to bring over this, but I'm not going to bring the humans text or the robots text. Alright, and if we open up our HTML folder, we get kind of a sample, alright, sorry about that, kind of a sample template. So let's go ahead and open up the index page. Alright, so we get some things we want to change here. Let's start from the top. The title, Foundation welcome. Let's change this Foundation to Ajax address book. Let's see, it's including the Foundation CSS file. Modernizer, not sure if we need that, but I'm just going to keep it anyways in case we do. And then we have the row system. And you can see with Bootstrap, it's pretty much the same thing. We have a class named row, and then for whatever columns, we have just large 12 columns as the class. So it's very similar. Alright, you can see down here we have different columns, 6 and 6. In that row, this row has 3, 4 columns. So it's very similar. So what I'm going to do is just get rid of the entire body, okay, all the code that's in the body, down to the last div. Okay, you can see that at the bottom we're including jQuery and the Foundation JavaScript. We're going to have one more JavaScript included, which will be where we put our Ajax code and all that, but we'll be doing that in the application. For now, we're just going to focus on the template. Alright, so what do we want to do? Let's create a row, because we're going to be using the grid. Alright, and let's see if we can look at the final result here. So this is the row right here, and we're going to have a heading and then a contact button over here. So to do that, we're going to have two six column divs. So div class large 6 columns. Alright, we want 2 of those, and in the first one we want the heading, so it's going to be an H1. We'll say Ajax address book. Alright, and then in the next one we want our button, which is going to be in a link, so class, Okay, now the class, we're going to have our own class of add button, and then we want our foundation classes so that we can format that button to look good. Okay, so we want the class button. I want to float it to the right, so we'll use that class, part of foundation, and then small because I want it to be fairly small. Alright. Now we're going to be using our modal when we click on it. You can see it in our final version. If I click on it, it brings down this modal. Alright, and you can get that code at Foundation Docs. Let's see. Right here, reveal modal. Okay, that's what it's called. And this is the basic code. We have a link, and you want to put in that link this data reveal ID attribute, and that should be equal to, actually that can be whatever you want, but you need this ID. Okay, so they click on the link, and then it's going to go to a div with the ID that matches this ID. Alright, so this whole div is going to be displayed inside of the modal that appears when this link is clicked. Alright, so let's go back, and this is our link that we want to open the modal with, so we're going to use that data reveal ID, and I'm just going to for now just set it to my modal, just like the demo, and text will be add contact. Whoop. Alright, and then underneath it, we're just going to create a div with the ID of my modal. And then we're going to add a class of reveal modal, and then finally we want to throw in another attribute that says data reveal. Whoop, just data reveal. And let's just test this out. Okay, so let's see, we want, alright, so that's working good. Okay. Alright. So inside of the modal, we want our form. Okay, and what I'm going to do is just copy and paste a form. Let's first put a heading here, and we'll say add contact. Alright, now let me go grab the form. Alright, so let's go through this form real quick. Alright, so we have a row which has two 6-column divs, first name and then last name. Another row for email, phone number, contact group. So we can label them friends, family, friends, business. And then we have our address, 1, 2, city. I have a select list of US states, which takes up a lot of real estate on my page. Zip code, and then some notes if we want, and then a submit button. Alright, I also want my modal to have a close button, so that's easy to add. We just need to create a link with a class of close reveal modal. Alright, and then inside of that, I want to put in a code for, I'm not sure which character it is. Let's go here. I guess for this X character. So I'm going to grab this code, put that in there. Okay. And there's our form. Okay, with our close button. So it's as easy as that. Alright, so now we're going to start the actual table of contacts. So this here, this table. And we're going to create a new row. Alright, and then we want a full column div, so 12 columns. Okay. And in here we're going to have table. I might be pasting in some because this could take forever. But table, t head, and then we want a row. And then we want a bunch of headings. I'm just going to grab these. I don't like to do that to you guys, copy and paste, but I mean, a lot of this stuff is just going to take too long to type out. So we'll end the table row, end the head area. Okay, and then we'll go on to our T body. T body, table row. And I'm just going to actually paste this stuff in, the body code. I'm going to paste in a couple of these. I know it looks a little sloppy. So let me just bring these over. Alright. Okay, T body, and then we want to end the table. Alright, let's see what that looks like. Alright. I actually want to change the button code a little bit. So inside here, okay, we have this button group. I'm going to take away this radius, and let's see, button tiny, that looks good. Let's see what that does. Huh. Actually, let me go to the foundation docs, and we want to look for button groups. Alright, so that looks good. Let me just grab that. We're going to change some of this stuff later on in the actual application view. Let me paste that in, get rid of this third one. Okay, so let's see. This will say edit. This will say delete. Okay, so they're very big. I want to add a class tiny. And we'll also be formatting a lot of this stuff with our own CSS later on. Alright, so I guess that's good for now. Actually, I want one of them to be red. Looks like it has this secondary alert success. It's kind of weird. Okay, that didn't do anything. Okay, that turned it gray. Sorry guys, I just haven't used this framework very much. It's not like Bootstrap to me where I know all the classes by heart. Alert. Alright, so that made it orange. Alright. So let me just copy this. and put it for all of the entries. Where are we now? Button group. Alright, there we go. So that's good for now. So table, we're going to want the edit button to also open up a form, but I'm just going to leave it for now, and we'll do that in the application. So that's pretty much it for HTML. Now I just want to add a little bit of custom CSS. So let's see, I just want to include that, so I'm going to copy this link and change this to custom. Alright, and then go to CSS. I'll create a new CSS folder called custom.css. Okay, open that up. And I'm just going to paste in a little bit of CSS. Changing the background, font size, the add button I want to push down a little, table font size and padding, the button group, I want to have those buttons on the same line. So let's save that and see what we got. Alright, so that looks much better. Forms working. So I think we're all set with our interface. Alright, so in the next video we will create our database and the initial programming for our database and things like that.